about PENA and the work that it's doing in the Horn of Africa?
PENA is an African-inspired and African-led organization established 20 years ago by a group of concerned development workers and academics who would like to bring something good back to their communities. Our main focus of work in the Horn of Africa are the pastoralist people, 25 million of them, spread out through 6 countries: Ethiopia, Eritrea, Sudan, Uganda, Somalia, Somaliland, and Djibouti. Our work primarily concentrates on 4 main areas thematically: capacity building of pastoralist organizations and partners, capacity building of line ministries concerned with the pastoral people, nomadic education, nomadic health, and indigenous knowledge systems and development of such knowledge in the Horn of Africa. We operate directly in 4 countries. We have offices in Somaliland, Uganda, Sudan, Eritrea, and we work through partners in Ethiopia.
And why do pastoralists need this help?
Pastoral communities in the Horn and Africa generally have always been marginalized. Their land been taken away from them. Their way of life has been totally misunderstood. Their economy has not been supported. And the policies of many of the government have not been favorable over the last 100 and 200 years. However, since the setup of PENA 20 years ago, we've seen huge changes. There are now more pastoralist-led organizations led by the communities, from the people themselves. The more CBOs, the more pastoralist-led NGOs. The governments are also more favorable because many of the pastoral communities are now represented in the government. They've got parliamentarians who represent their interests, so the level of marginalization have decreased a bit. However, the nomadic people are also part of much wider society. That the peasant groups, the hunting gathering groups, the urban poor are also in a poverty trap. And the conflicts in the Horn, the political conflicts, social conflicts, competition over resources have really undermined the pastoral sustainability. So PENA is now confronted with this whole question of what do we do with the communities who have abandoned pastoralism, who are now evolving, who are now settling down? And how can we also support those communities that are still crossing borders, have cross-border markets? We are sort of trying to deal with these dilemmas. In one way, you're trying to support a livelihood, make it more comfortable for them. On the other hand, also you are challenging with these realities on the ground, i.e. conflict zones throughout the Horn, so that mobility of the nomadic people is restricted. Their lands are mined. The more powerful groups, the elite, the urban elite, politicians included, have been taking land away from the nomadic communities and basically undermining the whole economy and the whole livelihood of the pastoral communities in the Horn of Africa.